Yo, what's good, family, man? We back with another video, man. Now today, I ain't gonna try to make the intro as long, man. I ain't trying to make it too long or whatever. But look, man, today, bro, I just found out that The Conjuring is coming out. I think it's the last Well, it's this. I think it's one of the last Conjuring movie right here. But I've been following the whole Conjuring series, bro, and I am just in love with it, bro. And I also watched some documentaries of the Ed and Lorraine Warren. I watched some documentaries. I ain't watched all of them, but I watched some little documentaries of them. But I'm so glad that there's another Conjuring movie coming out. Like, I say by far, like, out of all top scary movies, that's like top 3 scary movies of all time. Like that's this whole series, not even just one movie. The whole series is just like top 10, like top 3 scary movies, hands down. Like, if we talking about a scary movie, yeah, people be going to the goddamn theaters thinking like a killer movie, a scary movie. No, it's more of an action. That's more like an action or a thrill. But this is actually like a scary movie, like Paranormal Activity, all that shit, like Insidious, all that. That's actually scary movies, like that's, you know what I'm saying, not no Resident Evil and all that. Yeah, it got some scary scenes, but it's like that's more of action and thrills. You know what I'm saying? But got they going. Yeah. So today we're gonna react to 5 goddamn 5 demonic cases that terrified Ed and Lorraine Warren. So I guess it's the top cases they had or whatever. And since The Conjuring is coming out September, I know what I'm saying, kind of just remind me of like them. So I just kind of just want to watch them, kind of just what they had to, kind of just what they went through and stuff like that. And yeah, man, that's what we got today, man. So I give you no more time, just straight into the vid. Hey, boy. All right, man.
Warren were 2 of the most iconic and influential paranormal investigators in history. Going all the way back to 1952, they have been trailblazers in the ghost hunting industry, investigating over 10,000 unique cases up until each of their deaths in 2006 and 2019. Ed and Lorraine were highly respected professionals, even amongst non-believers, and were essentially A-list celebrities to those in the paranormal and demonology circles.
Yeah, people thought it was telling lies too. Niggas really thought it was really lying, bro. I knew they won't lie. It was kind of a couple of ghosts in this house. And my other house too. I'm trying to tell you, bro, ghosts follow people, bro, the whole time. I'm trying to tell you.
Their lectures, research, books and media have influenced pop culture unlike anyone else in the medium, and are still talked about on a daily basis around the world. In other words, there may never be 2 more knowledgeable paranormal experts to walk this earth than Ed and Lorraine Warren. But for all their infamous exploits, speaking to spirits and detecting demons, and researching wraiths, there have been a select few that have terrified even the stone-cold Warrens to their core. Cases of the supernatural so evil and horrific, they vow to end their investigations and leave the entities alone. Even they knew that not all ghosts are meant to be tamed. In honor of their unparalleled paranormal work that spanned their career, we're diving deeper into 5 of these cases that made Ed and Lorraine Warren's blood run cold. Hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. Amityville House. In the dark annals of true crime history, few stories are as chilling as the Amityville Horror. In 1974, a seemingly ordinary Long Island family was brutally murdered in their suburban home. The heinous act shocked the nation and inspired a string of books and movies that continue to haunt our collective consciousness. On November 13, 1974, Ronald Defoe Jr., a 23-year-old man, committed an unthinkable act. In the dead of night, he used a .35 caliber rifle to execute his parents, Ronald Defoe Sr.
I think this was the first one, right? This was the first one. This was the first one that they did. Yeah, this is the first one. This was the first movie.
Louise Defoe, along with 4 of his siblings, Dawn, Allison, Mark and John. The victims were found in their nightclothes, shot in the back while they slept. There were no signs of a struggle, only a chilling silence in their upscale home in Amityville, New York. The news of this gruesome family massacre shocked the tight-knit community and the nation at large. The family had appeared to be an average good family, making the crime all the more incomprehensible. A sign outside their home read, "High Hopes," hinting at dreams and aspirations that had been shattered in the most horrific way. Ronald J. Defoe Jr. reported the killing to the police. He initially claimed to have discovered the crime scene upon returning home, but he would later confess to committing the murders himself. He described in gruesome detail how he shot each family member one by one, claiming he had heard voices compelling him to do so. In a bizarre turn of events, the Defoe family's former home was purchased by George and Kathy Lutz a year after the murders. However, they claimed to have experienced supernatural phenomena, including slamming windows, welts appearing on Kathy's body at random, oozing slime from the walls, and ghoulish apparitions, such as the red eyes of a demon peeking around corners of the house. Their story inspired Jay Anson's 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, which in turn led to a series of movies. While the Lutzes insisted their experiences were real, many have since regarded the Amityville haunting as a hoax. Ed and Lorraine Warren were not amongst the detractors though. In fact, they believed in the Amityville paranormal activity so much so, they vowed to never go back. In 2013, Lorraine gave the following quote when asked about her personal experience with the house.
It was horrible, honey. It was absolutely horrible, said Warren. It followed us right straight across the country. I told y'all, what I tell y'all? I told you the ghosts be following, bro. They be following. I don't even like to talk about it. I would never go in the Annabelle house ever again. You don't know how long my career is. That's the only one. Bro, I'm trying to tell this, bro. Ghosts follow, bro. They follow you, bro. They don't care. They will follow your ass, especially if you pit with them.
Her reasoning is justified too, when looking back through the case files covering the Warrens' investigation at Amityville in March of 1976. During their analysis of the home, they captured a time-lapsed photograph depicting a demonic boy whose eyes glowed at the bottom of the stairs. The image was taken by professional photographer Gene Campbell and serves as the key reference for why the Warrens never returned to such a demented, dastardly local. Annabelle.
I'm already know about
the story of Annabelle, the allegedly possessed.
And it's crazy, like that doll don't look bad at all, bro. With torch the hell out your ass though. Don't go nowhere near that doll. Like I'm already knowing not to go nowhere near that doll. Like, but the doll don't look bad. It's like one of them big ass teddy bear dolls that you just hug and all that. But that's crazy. Look at they got the newspapers. Look at the newspapers. Devil doll. Oh yeah, see? You know what I'm saying? Look, they got the little devil right beside it, man. I already knew, bro. I'm already knowing, bro.
Of many, thanks to the claims made by paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens recounted the tale of Annabelle, tracing it back to 1971, when a student nurse received a Raggedy Ann doll as a gift. According to their narrative, the doll exhibited bizarre and unsettling behavior, leading the students to consult a psychic medium. The psychic claimed that the doll harbored the spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle Higgins. Eerily, the student and her roommate attempted to nurture the spirit within the doll, only to experience malevolent and terrifying occurrences. These events would include the nursing student Donna returning home to see the Raggedy Ann doll had moved during the day without anyone else in the house. These movements were discreet and hard to notice at first. Eventually,
hey, y'all watch the Annabelle movie, bro? Y'all watch the Annabelle movie when they had this doll in the back? But it wasn't this doll, but it was one just like this one. But it was crazy because they had showed the doll, the actor doll. Then they had showed this doll. I was like, oh nah, he a good one. Not doing it. But nah, that's crazy, but you would never expect this doll to even go crazy like that. Now the other doll, the actor doll, hell yeah, that look like a goddamn Chucky doll. But this doll, nah, not for real.
Though Annabelle would be in a completely different room than the one Donna left her in. The doll started doing even scarier acts after this, such as changing its position. Raggedy Ann dolls normally do not have the ability to kneel or stand up on their own, but this one did, and would be found in weird parts of the house in said positions. Annabelle was also known to leave notes, often written on parchment paper, saying things along the lines of "help us" or "help Lou." Lou was the name of Donna's roommate at the time, Donna even returned home one time to find small red blood stains on the Raggedy Ann doll. The same blood colour that was written on the aforementioned notes. Things took a turn towards pure evil when physical harm came to those living under the same roof as Annabelle. On one occasion, Lou woke up in the middle of the night, paralysed, while the Raggedy Ann doll watched him sleep, before climbing over him and wringing his neck.
Oh, hell no.
During another, he was scratched by something invisible to him on the chest one day, when he was attempting to pick up the doll in Donna's room. It was during this tumultuous period that the Warrens were contacted. Ed and Lorraine declared the doll to be demonically possessed. Ed was certain the demon was responsible for at least 3 deaths prior to her current haunts.
That's crazy.
They relocated Annabelle to their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut, where it was displayed in a glass box, reportedly to prevent any further sinister incidents. This imprisonment of the doll, with a warning for it never to be released into the world again, makes the Warrens real and raw terror all the more authentic. The Snedeker House.
What?
The story of Carmen and Alan Snedeker.
The who?
Carmen and Alan Snedeker. The Snedeker House.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that.
The story of Carmen and Alan Snedeker, their 3 sons, daughter, and 2 nieces, in Southington, Connecticut, is one of inexplicable horror and paranormal encounters. Moving into what they thought was an ordinary home, they soon discovered its dark history as a former funeral parlour, complete with unsettling relics in the basement. The Snedeker family's journey began when they relocated to Connecticut to be closer to medical treatment for their eldest son's Hodgkin's lymphoma. Unbeknownst to them, the house they rented had once been a funeral parlour. Despite the macabre discovery, they chose to stay, primarily due to financial constraints.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm not staying in no funeral parlor house. No. That's asking for ghosts to be. That's asking to live with ghosts, bro. No, it's no way. It's no way. I ain't gonna lie. It's no way.
It was more affordable to enjoy the eerie atmosphere than to find a new home suitable for their large family. The unsettling events in the house started innocently enough, with items mysteriously disappearing. However, things took a terrifying turn when the children began reporting sightings of strange figures, including a man with long black hair. The eldest son experienced a drastic personality change, marked by violent outbursts and unexplained attacks on family members. While doctors diagnosed him with schizophrenia, the family believed these distressing behaviours were linked to the malevolent presence within their home. Perhaps the most disturbing claim was made by the parents, who asserted that they had been sexually assaulted by an unseen force in the house. These eerie incidents left many bewildered as to why the family chose to remain in such a haunted environment for 2 more years. Desperate for relief from the relentless torment, the Snedeker family sought the assistance of Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens, based in Connecticut, were a controversial duo in the world of paranormal investigations at the time, but served as the family's best bet to figure out what had happened in their home. Ed, the demonologist, partnered with his wife Lorraine, the clairvoyant, to explore this supernatural phenomena. Their involvement in the haunting in Connecticut case was pivotal, as they spent weeks in the haunted house to gain a comprehensive understanding of the alleged malevolence.
I forgot that dude used to spin that nigga
After
on
their extensive investigation,
the
the Warrens declared that the morticians, who had operated in the house during its funeral parlour days, had practiced necromancy, infusing the home with profound evil. They believed
that is weird. Why would you do that?
Responsible for the family's terrifying experience.
Like, no cap. What are you doing?
To rid the house of this darkness and make it safe for the Snedeker family, the Warrens performed an exorcism.
I would have sued his ass. I'm sorry.
While the Warrens felt their exorcism did enough to warrant the Snedekers' return to their Connecticut home, it would go down as one of the most dark and draining investigations of their career. Rest assured, Ed and Lorraine avoided that corner of the state for the remainder of their lives. The Smurl Haunting. In August 1973, the Smurl family moved into a seemingly ordinary double-block house on Chase Street in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. Little did they know that their new home would become the center of a terrifying ordeal marked by disturbing claims of paranormal activity. The Smil family's nightmare began with what they described as a demonic presence within their home. They reported a litany of supernatural occurrences, including loud noises, foul odors, physical assaults on family members, and even the shocking incident of their dog being thrown against a wall. The entity seemed relentless, shaking their mattress, pushing one of their daughters down a flight of stairs, and allegedly subjecting family members to both physical and sexual assaults. In 1986, seeking relief from the relentless torment, the family turned to renowned demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed characterized the demon inhabiting the Smil home as very powerful. The Warrens attempted to persuade the entity to leave by playing religious music and offering prayers. According to Ed, their efforts triggered unsettling manifestations, including shaking mirrors and furniture. He claimed to have felt a drop in temperature and witnessed the formation of a dark mass within the house. On one occasion, the entity left a chilling message on a mirror, instructing them to get out. Videotapes containing eerie knocking and rapping sounds attributed to the malevolent force. Representatives of the Roman Catholic Church, Diocese of Scranton, were unsure about the source of the disturbances. Theology professor.
This wasn't the house in London though. This wasn't the one from the house in London. This wasn't the third one.
Troubled, suggested there might be alternative, less demonic explanations. Several priests blessed the home and reported no harmful activity during their visits. Janet Smil claimed that an unidentified priest had performed 3 unsuccessful exorcisms, as the demon allegedly evaded the rituals by moving between the 2 halves of the double-block home and following the family to other locations. Despite initially expressing weariness with media attention, the Smil family authored a book, The Haunted, in collaboration with Ed and Lorraine Warren, detailing their haunting experiences. The Warrens continued to assert that the Smil home was inhabited not only by a demon, but also by 4 spirits, including the shocking claim of sexual assault on Jack and Janet Smil. Whether one believes in the Smil family's chilling encounters or regards them as a mystery yet to be fully explained, their story serves as a haunting reminder of the uncharted territories of the supernatural, a story that continued to spur the nightmares of Ed and Lorraine Warren for decades.
Let's find out one, baby, and which one it is.
Arnie Johnson.
Who?
The chilling story of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson's alleged demonic possession is a tale that delves into the realms of the supernatural and the inexplicable. The events surrounding Johnson's possession, which eventually led to a gruesome murder, are shrouded in mystery and controversy. Arnie Cheyenne Johnson and Debbie Glatzel's stories began when they acquired a rental property that would soon become the epicenter of their supernatural ordeal. Their initial encounter involved David, Debbie's brother, who claimed to have been confronted by an elderly man with sinister intentions. Although the family initially dismissed it as an excuse to avoid chores, David insisted that the man had threatened harm if they moved into the rental home. David's visions escalated, with the elderly man taking on a demonic form, muttering Latin, and making threats against his soul. As David's visions intensified, so did the paranormal activity. Night terrors, unexplained scratches, and bruises plagued him. The family called upon a Catholic priest to bless the house, but the terror persisted, leading them to conclude that the house was malevolent and unfit for habitation. They also experienced David's transformation, marked by growling, hissing, and speaking in otherworldly voices, as well as reciting passages from the Bible and Paradise Lost. The family members took turns staying awake at night, as David endured spasms and convulsions. Desperate for help, the family summoned the renowned demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. Lorraine witnessed a black mist near David, signifying a malevolent presence. The Warrens were told of David being choked and beaten by invisible hands, with red marks appearing on his neck afterwards. They diagnosed David with multiple possessions and performed 3 lesser exorcisms. During these exorcisms, David allegedly levitated, stopped breathing temporarily, and displayed precognitive abilities, notably predicting the manslaughter that Arnie Johnson would later commit. The story took a shocking turn when Arnie Johnson coerced one of the demons supposedly within David to possess him during the exorcisms. According to Johnson's account, after egging the demon on, he was violently attacked by the entity, which allegedly took control of his car and crashed it into a tree.
Oh, hell no.
This incident left Johnson unharmed but deeply affected. He later encountered the demon at an old well, making eye contact with it and subsequently becoming possessed. Debbie and Johnson moved into an apartment near her workplace, but Johnson exhibited similar strange behavior to David's, falling into trances and experiencing hallucinations. On February 16, 1981, a tragic event unfolded. Johnson called in sick to his job and joined Debbie, her cousin Mary, and his sister Wanda at her workplace. After a lunch with heavy drinking, tensions escalated with their landlord and employer, Alan Bono. Johnson, in a growling, animalistic state, fatally stabbed Bono. Bono suffered multiple wounds, including a fatal one stretching from his stomach to the base of his heart.
Damn.
This event marked the first unlawful killing in the history
Nah,
of Brookfield, Connecticut.
He was definitely possessed, bro. If he, bro, from the stomach all the way to the heart, you know how strong you gotta be to do that, bro. From somebody's stomach all the way to the heart, bro. You gotta be a strong somebody to do that, bro. If he did that, that's crazy work. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's crazy work if he did that.
In the aftermath of the murder, Lorraine Warren informed the Brookfield police that Johnson was possessed during the crime. The case remained steeped in controversy, with the paranormal aspects complicating the legal proceedings. In the end, though, Johnson could not be found innocent as a result of demonic possession, taking account of the killing. He was convicted of first-degree manslaughter and served 5 years of a 10 to 20-year sentencing. Ed and Lorraine maintained their position on the case even after the official ruling came in, and it goes without saying their involvement with such a horrific case stayed with them long after Johnson went to prison. How terrifying it must have been for them to realize that demonic possession in their eyes could lead to such cold-blooded murder.
Nah, for real.
So that's it for this video. That was 5 cases that...
Hey, look though. Nah, that's crazy how but how would you even explain that if a demonic force take over and it make you do crazy stuff and you can't even explain it to the judge the nigga that won't me that was not me there's no way a judge can charge a demonic force so you gonna get that time, bro. That just fucked up, bro. Just getting put in that situation, that's kind of fucked up. But man, if y'all like the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, bro. We on to the next one.